You have to start letting go of all of your self-imposed limitations. There is a major shift going on happening right now, and everybody is talking about this. And this shift is going to carry along everyone who's ready to ascend. It's going to carry along everyone who has aligned with their true self, with their true purpose. So stop thinking about the how and the when and start trusting. Start becoming yourself unapologetically. Start aligning with who you truly are. Start believing in yourself, believing that you can do and be whatever and whomever you want. Understand that once you take that leap of faith, the energies in the universe now are going to assist you with whatever you're trying to do. This shifting energy, the collective energy, will conspire in your favor because you chose to believe in who you truly are. You chose to align with your natural state of being, with the universe, in the knowing, by knowing that you can do and have whatever you want. And I know it might not be that easy. I know it might be hard and you might feel confused or lost. Or you're hurting because you can't see a way out and you just feel as if you are stuck. You don't even know how are you going to make it through? How are you going to make it happen? You don't even know where to begin from. But now is not the time to be thinking about this. Now is not the time to be logically and intellectually analyzing your dreams, your purpose, your calling, because intuitions are not meant to be analyzed. And that's exactly what's actually creating your blockages. You are stuck thinking that you have to figure it all out just by yourself. And of course the ego will be overwhelmed. Of course the ego is going to be overwhelmed. You are overwhelming yourself because it's unaware that the entire universe will conspire in your favor once you take that leap of faith. You see, the more you try to analyze something and break it down to bits and pieces, the more overwhelming it's going to seem. Just like, for example, if I try to come up with this perfect video idea in my head and I try to ensure including all of those different aspects and thoughts and ideas that have to do with this topic all in my head, it becomes more and more paralyzing to even work upon it. So the more you analyze, the more paralyzed you become. Because in doing so, what you're actually trying to do is that you are trying to hand over the steering wheel entirely to your ego, to your mind. And you are in turn blocking your intuition. You're blocking your source connection, your intuition, which is the true source of your inspiration, of your ideas, of your thoughts. Because in fact, our source, our higher self, the universe is assisting us with whatever we're trying to do. And so by being so logically and intellectually focused, by being so cynical, it is as if we are rejecting this assistance from our infinite self. And you know, that's even a concept in psychology which is called analysis. I'm not sure if it's in psychology because it was first introduced in a book about success or a book about business, that how to achieve success in business back during the last century sometime. And it's called analysis paralysis or paralysis by analysis. But there are similar even psychological concepts I'll get to in just a second. But this analysis paralysis basically is just you being absolutely overwhelmed due to overthinking about something you're trying to do or achieve. And in this overthinking, you actually magnify it in your head multiple magnitudes, and in doing so you'd rather just not take a step forward and avoid it completely and cope with it with things such as binge watching or hanging out aimlessly, which are in turn pulling you further and further away from your true alignment, from your true purpose, because you're going to have those feelings of regret, of self-pity in the future over coping and not taking a step towards this purpose of yours. And ultimately you're even going to recreate those cycles. You're going to create your life patterns, which are experiences that are going to make you feel the same way again, because ultimately this is actually what you are aligned with. So in trying to analyze things and overthink about things, you're actually pulling further away from them. You're actually blocking yourself. Similarly, there's in psychology, there's the paradox of choice and the paradox of overthinking. And basically, the paradox of choice is that the fact is, when you have more choices, you increase your rate of success. You have a better chances of achieving this thing you're trying to achieve. But at the same time, you're faced with a dilemma that could cause you a very long time, that could cause you to feel paralyzed and not act upon it, because you're faced with those so many choices that you're unable to even pick one choice from them, make a choice. And in return, it might actually affect you negatively. Similarly, with the paradox of overthinking, this is a very interesting one actually. I think it might need its own whole video, because there's a lot to say about it. And there's even a beautiful story that I'm reminded of, having to do with the paradox of choice and analysis paralysis, and we thinking that we are creating all of these things from within us, unaware that actually all that we need to do is just internally tune into that frequency, and then just decide on something and it will work out. We just believing that it will work out because we have all of this creation energy. We have the power of creation from the entire universe flowing within us. So there's a beautiful story that's going to put you in perspective and make you aware of how you don't need to seek out different plans, plan B and plan C, or try to figure things out, and rather just be yourself, because each and every one of us have something perfect about them, have a very special thing about them, that if they choose to work upon it or live according to it, unify and unite with it, which is ultimately meaning that you align with your true self, then it is going to create amazing things in your life. So this story will really put you in perspective. But for now, the paradox of overthinking is that you can possibly overthink your way out of anything. So if you have a problem and you're overthinking, you might find different solutions and multiple solutions, and ultimately it might be a tool that guided you, that helped you to actually figure out a way out of something or into something. But there is a paradox. It's a paradox because you cannot overthink your way out of overthinking. You cannot overthink the overthinking. Because if you're trying to stop overthinking by thinking about it, then you're only indulging in overthinking. And that creates a paradox, because you cannot. This shows you why overthinking is not the way. Why not more thoughts is the solution to anything. More thoughts aren't necessarily the solution to anything. And by the way, those are all of those paradoxes and the analysis by paralysis and analysis paralysis, those all actually lead back to one concept, which is less is more. And in the story I'm going to mention later on, actually it's going to show you why really less is more. So please just stop blocking your alignment with your true self, with your higher self. Let go. Take your power and energy back from all of those external things. Realize, become aware that you don't need anything externally, that you have the entire power of creation flowing here within you, that everything that you are seeking out externally is actually flowing right here within you if you just tune into that frequency. And in doing so, you actually open yourself up to your infinite potential. You open yourself up to this infinite array of possibilities. Trust and believe in yourself being the creator of your life. So don't overthink, don't think whether this is going to work out. Should I even start working on it? Should I even keep it in my mind, or should I just try to figure out different other ways to live my life, or different other solutions or plans in case this doesn't work out as I wanted to? Know that it's going to work out. Trust that it's going to, one way or another, going to work out. And I made a recent video about manifestations, about your best sign to know when manifestations are coming. And this tells you it tells you that once you know it, once you don't even have to think whether it's going to work out. Once you reach to that state of being, this is actually a very good sign that you are about to manifest this thing. So now is really not the time to be doubtful, because otherwise you might just, give up and choose to remain stuck in whatever you are doing, and you're going to keep feeling the same way, and you're going to keep recreating the same way, which I'm guessing it's not something you want. Because now there is this shifting energy which is going to assist you with anything you do. Just if you believe in yourself, just if you awaken and acknowledge yourself. Because if you don't really acknowledge your true self, if you're very reliant on your ego to make the choices, to figure things out for you, you think that you have to think your way out of everything or into anything, then you cannot really use your true powers. So stop sitting on this idea you're having, or this thing you're trying to do, or this calling you have, or this thing you feel yourself called to work on or live according to. Because when something comes to you intuitively, then now is really the best time to work upon it or to live according to it. Because whenever you receive such intuitions, you also receive with them a surge in your energy that allows you to fulfill this calling. Even if things don't work out right away, even if you feel as if you're stuck in doing this thing, even if you don't see results instantly, gradually, bit by bit, you're going to align with your higher self, you're going to align internally with your true self, you're really going to believe in it, and you'll be aligned with your highest good. And that's when you are going to be creating miracles. So now, without any further ado to the story, let's get to the story to end this video. And this story is about an African farmer. And this farmer was feeling overwhelmed, and he was basically discontented with his life, and he felt sad and bad about his lack of luck, because he had been hearing and seeing his neighboring farmers stumbling upon gold mines on their lands, stumbling upon diamonds on their lands, and he couldn't find any on his land. He did not stumble on any of these diamond beds or gold mines on his land. So he was really feeling discontented with his life. So he decided to just sell off his farm to a random person and travel across the country and to neighboring countries in search of those gold mines or in those diamond beds or diamond streaks, to find his richness, to find his abundance, to find his success. Several years later, he could not find anything, and he was feeling more and more defeated. He was feeling much more defeated than he would already is, because he had already spent all of this time and efforts, but all to no avail. Meanwhile, the farmer who bought his land was once walking along this creek that passes through this farm, this river that passes through this farm, and he saw something shining from beneath the water surface down on the bed. And when he went down to pick this up, he picked up a crystal, which then came to realize that it's actually a diamond. And what he further realized, that this entire farm is sitting on a whole bed of diamonds. And that's how we often just think that we need to seek things externally, that we have to go out there and look for things, when they're more often than not, when they are actually just right here beneath us, right here within us. If we just tune in, if we just accept our lives as it is, as if we just accept ourselves, if we just accept us, love ourselves, not to be conditional with ourselves, love ourselves unconditionally, know that no matter what, we can do whatever, because we are the energy of creation, which is also the creator. You have the entire energy of everyone and everything in existence flowing through you. So all the love to you, infinite beings. And I hope you learned something from this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this message with whomever might need to hear it. Thank you for tuning in.